Yo, 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 what is going on? It is the Crazy Writer right here, right now, back with Chapter 3 of my Invaders in Fanfiction. If you have not already experienced Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, it is mandatory that you do so before going any further. A link to both chapters is down in the description at this very moment. Now let us continue the story, so sit back, relax, and enjoy it all, right here, right now. Chapter 3 Parents. The clock struck 3 and the bell rang for us to go home. Everyone hopped out of their seats and I started to tail Zim out the door on all fours. Don't forget, tonight is parent-teacher night. Everyone is required to bring their parents to the cafeteria. Zim stopped at the door and I nearly bumped into him. He turned and started to argue with Miss Bitters, and I watched and waited next to the door. I never agreed to attend this parent-teacher night. Yes, you did. No, you lie. You lie! Miss Bitters pulled out a disc and lowered the projection screen. The screen showed Zim at his desk playing with a pencil. Zim, are you going to bring your parents to parent-teacher night? Yeah, sure, whatever. The video ended and we all looked up at the camera above the blackboard. Why would you tape that? Dib suddenly joined the conversation. Putting up a lot of a fight for something as simple as parent-teacher night, Zim. I bet he doesn't even know what parents are. Zim started gazing off into the distance. Of course I do. For some reason he started hugging Miss Bitters, which made her unhappy. She growled at him before swooping away. You will be here tonight, Zim. You and your parents. Zim started walking towards the door and I turned to leave as well, but Dib still had one thing left to say. Yeah, see you and your parents tonight, Zim. Yes. Oh, I will bring my parents, and they will be the greatest, most parental parents ever. Zim and I walked home together. What's Zim do? I asked my green companion. I shall think of something. Zim has a brilliant mind that has never failed before and will not fail now. What you think of not be worse than bringing my foster parents tonight. They not care about anything. I had explained all about foster parents to Zim. When we reached Zim's house, Zim's robot mom was brushing the teeth of some sales lady who ran off. Zim's adorable robot dog ran after her. No, wait! Come back! I need stuff! I looked at Zim. Guess I see you tonight, Erkin friend. And I was off again to my house. I entered the house and found my foster parents sitting on the couch, watching TV like always. I put my chin on my foster mom's cellulite-covered lap. Without looking at me, she asked, What is it now, Elizabeth? I told you it, Liz. Tonight parent-teacher night at school. You two come and see Miss Bitters. My foster dad scratched at his big hairy back. Oh yeah, you go to school, don't you? I forgot about that. Yes, and tonight you come meet with teacher. 1 hour, so be ready. I went outside and started digging in the backyard until it was time to go. Come on, Liz, let's go meet with your stinking teacher, my foster father yelled from the back door. The 3 of us took the city bus to school. When we reached the cafeteria, my guardians headed straight for the buffet table. I saw Dib, Gaz, and a screen of Professor Membrane's face talking with Gaz's teacher. I trotted on all fours over to them and nudged Dib in the arm with my head. Hey, Liz! Dib grinned down at me. It's nice to meet you, Professor. I'm Mr. Elliot, your daughter Gaz's teacher. I'm sorry, but I'm very busy right now. We're testing some very unstable... No! Some beeping started from off-screen, and the professor was trying to fix it, but there was an explosion across town that could be seen from the cafeteria window. The screen went blurry, and was replaced by the words, Please stand by. My ears pricked up, and I turned to see Zim enter with his robot parents. I approached him happily. Zim, you made it! Of course, human wolf creature. Have you met my parents? He grinned and gestured up to the robots. I barked cheerfully at the bots, and the mom bot bent over to get a better look at me. Oh, what an adorable puppy! Don't you think so, dear? The dad-bot removed his pipe from his mouth and pondered. Yes, very puppy-like. I turned to Zim. I think they're convincing enough. Zim led his bot parents over to Miss Bitters and cleared his throat for her attention. These are my parents, I love them with all my heart. There was an awkward pause. I must have punch now! Zim rushed over to the food table and I followed while the bot parents socialized with the real parents, and so did my foster parents. While we were keeping an eye on the parents, Dib and Gaz approached with Professor Membrane's live stream. Hello, Zim. Dib. Boys, must you do now? I asked. Yes, Liz, Dib told me before addressing his father. Dad, there's someone I want you to meet. This is Zim. You know, the alien. The screen floated towards Zim. I sighed with relief that Membrane thought Dib meant foreigner. Zim knocked Dib's punch in his face, and Gaz laughed. I shook my head and started licking the punch from Dib's face. The dad-bot ate a cookie and started groaning in pain. Oh no! Honey, is it? Yep. Diarrhea, the dad-bot said very dramatically. I have just the thing for that, stated the mom-bot before throwing a glass of punch in the other bot's face. The bot began to malfunction and started slamming into the wall. The mom-bot turned back to the woman she was talking with. Who does your hair? The bot then started poking the woman in the face. I found the whole scene to be amusing, but I knew I had to help Zim fix it. I rushed over to the area, and Zim approached the mom-bot. Mom, I think we should go home now. The robot stopped poking the woman and turned to Zim. Don't tell me what to do, young man. You go to your room. She then threw Zim into a bowl of punch and rolled off. When Zim jumped out of the bowl, Dib took a cup of punch and dumped it on Zim. While Gaz laughed, I barked angrily at Dib. I hated how my two best friends fought like this. Zim rushed towards the dad-bot, who was still slamming into the wall. Mr. Elliot stepped towards Zim. Hey, is your dad feeling well? Yes, he's perfectly fine. The bot finally stopped abusing the wall with his body and started to short out his arm. The arm flew right off and landed at Mr. Elliot's feet. Mr. Elliot screamed, and Dib left next to me. Nothing to worry about. My dad lost his arm in, the war. That was my squeezing arm. The dad-bot dropped to his knees. They took my squeezing arm. Why my squeezing arm? Ah! Zim grabbed the dad-bot by his still intact arm and started dragging him towards the mom-bot, who was still poking the other woman. My fosters had passed out near the food table from too much standing for too long. They're dangerously lazy. I trotted over to Mr. Elliot and picked up the mechanical arm in my teeth, then tailed Zim. Look, Mom, we really have to go now, please. The bot turned to Zim. Oh, honey, you're upset. Yes, and I want to go home. I feel ya, Zim, I feel ya. I know what'll cheer you up. Both bots started doing a traditional folk dance. My jaw opened, dropping the arm, and I started to back away slowly. Thankfully, everyone else's attention was on the poked lady, except for Dib, who was watching with his drink. Look, everyone, look! Everyone looked, but they didn't care. Can't you see this woman is suffering from severe pokey trauma? Mom, Dad, I think I've broken my spine. My spine. Ah! Zim screamed in pain. The robot stopped dancing and the mom-bot bent down towards Zim. Oh, honey, I think it's time we took you home. She picked up Zim, who grinned at me and Dib. The robots grew rockets and flew out the window just as my fosters were waking up. Dib pouted. Let me guess. Nobody else saw that, right? We both looked at the rest of the crowd to see their backs all turned. My foster mom approached me. Liz, I think we've had enough fresh air for this week. Let's go home. I grabbed the robot arm in my teeth again, and the three of us went back home. Before I went inside, though, I stopped over in front of Zim's house and dropped the arm outside the property. I began howling until Zim came outside. "Earthling, you don't have to do that every time you come over." "It's how I announce myself." I picked up the arm again and approached Zim, dropping the arm at his feet. "I brought back robot arm." Zim picked up the arm and pet my head with a roll of the eyes. "Thank you, Wolf Child." That's all for now, folks. If you enjoyed, I do hope you will return for Chapter 4 and the many other chapters to come. If you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to ask. I will see you little darlings next time, and remember, keep you crazy.